Hello everyone, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Emily. I just started my YouTube channel. I have one other video up and it is a little get to know me. I will put that either here or here. Not quite sure where it goes yet, but so that you guys can watch that if you'd like. Most of my videos are going to be about lifestyle, vlogs, days in my life, fashion, business, social media, all of those things that I'm passionate about. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it as I'm trying to grow my channel. I post new videos every Sunday, and today's video is going to be about how I edit my Instagram pictures and how to get an aesthetically pleasing feed. So there are going to be three different things that I talk about. I'm going to talk about main feed, posts, stories, and then your bio. I'm going to start out talking about the main feed, which is the bulk of the content. It's a lot of what people are going to see when they click on your profile. First off, I use Lightroom like a million other people do. I bought a preset off of Etsy. There are tons to pick from and they're normally really cheap. I see a lot of them that are like $2, $3. I think I've seen some that are like $5 or $8, but they also have different packs, so you can get multiple. Certain sellers will have packs that you can pick out 3 or 4 for like $10 or things like that. So that's what I did. I just kind of went to Etsy and picked out the presets that I thought looked the best to me. Right now my feed is kind of like a bright blue and white, and it really makes the blues stand out. The reason I really like having the blues and whites pop out is because I wear a lot of black clothes, so my feed kind of has those pops of color from the blue from the sky, or in the summer like pools or lake, wherever that blue color is going to be in my pictures. Basically, when you're using Lightroom, that's all you have to do is pop in the picture and then you scroll over to presets and then you pick the preset that you want. Another huge thing with the main feed that I feel like a lot of people, I know I definitely underestimated this when I first started out, is the lighting in your pictures. Even though you have a preset that is going to do a pretty good job of picking up on those things that are going to make your feed look aesthetically pleasing and cohesive, the lighting is huge. For example, I'll add a picture side by side of one that I took that has really good lighting and then one that I took that does not have the best lighting, both with the preset on them, so that you can see how it makes a difference even when you have a preset. Like I said, lighting is key, and basically whatever you think that is going to work best with your lifestyle is the lighting that you should go for. I know I have some friends that a lot of the pictures they post are with friends at night, whether it's at a bar or a party or a concert or whatever. So if you know that a lot of the pictures that you're gonna be posting are darker lighting, then I would try to make your preset work with that and then focus on those pictures that are darker. For my feed, a lot of my pictures are taken outside because natural lighting is what works best for me. A lot of the pictures that I take happen to be outside, and that's just kind of how I've made everything fit my feed, is by having really bright pictures, most of which are outside. Another thing that I do to all of my pictures in Lightroom is I don't really ever just slap a preset on there and call it a day. You definitely can do that, but it will help your feed to look more cohesive if you take the time to learn how Lightroom works. It does take a while. I had to take a really long time to get used to it, but it is so worth it. So after I go in there and then pop my preset on, I normally work with 2 or 3, maybe 4 things. The first thing that I do is I make sure that my skin tone is the same in all of my pictures. Depending on the lighting and depending on the day, my skin tone might look darker in a picture, it might look lighter in a picture. So I go over to the color tab, and then where I change this is in the luminance, and I work with the saturation and the luminance so that my skin tone all looks the same in my pictures, but also I don't end up orange. Another thing that I really pay attention to, like I mentioned before, are the blues in my pictures. So I a lot of the times try to make sure that all of the blues in my pictures in my feed are relatively the same color blue. I do the same exact thing, go to colors, go to the saturation and the luminance, and then I change it based on that. For blue specifically, I'm not really sure how other colors work because I've only worked with 2 different presets, is I have to go go to both blues, so both the lighter and the darker one, and play with those. One huge thing that helps me make sure that all of my feed is aesthetic and making sure it's all cohesive is an app called I know that sounds so weird, but one of my favorite YouTubers, Danielle Carolyn, actually recommended this like years ago, I think. And it is a app that you can import pictures into before you post them to see if it will fit your feed. Now this is huge because a lot of the times I try to take a guess on Lightroom to make sure that things look the same, but it doesn't always turn out. So I put this into and then I basically look and see, is my skin tone too dark? Is it too light? Are the blues darker? Are they more blue toned? Are they more green toned? And what I need to do to go back into Lightroom until those pictures look like they have the same hues in them. So then once I get my pictures to the point where they're all pretty cohesive looking, I've used that word a million times, but that's basically what it comes down to, is making sure they all fit together even if they're not exactly the same. So once I get the pictures to look how I want them to, I just go into Instagram and pop it on there and I end up with the feed that I have. Another thing that I do a lot is if there's a picture that I really want to post but it doesn't exactly fit my feed, I try to get it as best as I can to fit it, but then later down the road, if it's not super important, like my college graduation that's supposed to be coming up, if it's just another day-to-day picture, I will archive it after a while so that I posted it, my followers saw it, my family and friends saw it, but later they're probably not going to go back and look for it. So I just archive it in a few weeks or a month or whatever so that my feed looks more aesthetically pleasing without that picture in it, if that makes sense. Hey guys, editing Emily here. I'm popping in for a second because there are actually 2 more apps that I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention these because I don't really use them often, but when I do need to use them, they're so beneficial, so I wanted to bring them up really quickly. So the first one is called, I think it's pronounced Remini, and basically what it does is if you have a low quality picture, I don't know if like reconstructs is the right word, but basically it makes the picture look a lot better. So a lot of times if I have lighting that made the quality of my picture look not great because I didn't have good lighting in the picture, I'll pop it into this app and it helps so much. It is free. You just have to watch like a video in order to get a credit, and then it's like a really short ad, and then 1 credit is like 1 picture, so it's totally worth it. And then the other app that I wanted to mention is called Retouch, and I know there are probably a million apps out there that are called Retouch, so I'll put the app in here so that you guys know which one it is. This one is a few dollars, but it, like I said, it's super worth it to have, because basically what I mainly use this for is if there's like part of a picture that you don't want in your photo. Like for example, when I was taking grad pictures the other day, there was part of the grass that looked so bad, and I was able to edit it to make it look like all of the grass looked perfectly fine and not ugly. So I'll put the before and after of that in here too. And so yeah, like I said, those 2 are definitely worth having, so I wanted to come and mention those really quickly to you guys as well. So now on to stories. So in my profile, you'll notice my stories kind of match my feed. The blues are all the same. Excuse you. Sorry, I live by a really busy road. Anyways, you'll notice that the blues in my story highlights are the same color blues as in my profile, and I definitely think that this helps how my Instagram looks. When I got my presets, I took the blues from my presets and I tried to match them as best I could to a color palette in Pinterest. I think that I was able to find an exact palette that included the marble and the different color blues that are in my story highlights, but if you just want to go and pick a few random ones from Pinterest, they don't have to be a palette, but that's what I did. Then obviously I just uploaded them to Instagram and made them into my story highlight. Kind of tried to add these randomly and not, you know, all the shades of blue in the ones that I use the most and all the marble ones in the ones that I don't really use. I kind of tried to put them in there strategically. I said randomly and strategically, but when I show my Instagram, you'll get what I mean. So that it's always changing and none of them are just all the same color blues on the face of my profile. Another thing that I feel like is a very small detail, but it will really help your Instagram feed, is to make sure that all of your story highlight names are the same. On mine, you'll notice that all of my story highlight names are undercase and they don't have any emojis. I don't even know if you could put emojis on them, but they're all lowercase and they're all just one word with no symbols or anything on them. And I feel like although that's a very small detail, it really does help because that's something that your eyes will pick up on even if you don't really realize that's what's throwing things off. So if you want them to be capitalized, make sure all of them are capitalized. If you want them to be lowercase, make sure all of them are lowercase. If you want to bullet point them, make sure all of them are bullet pointed and things like that. A few apps that I really enjoy using for my stories. The first one is called Story Art. It has a bunch of different free templates that you can input your pictures in. Now there's somebody walking on the edge of our road. What is going on today? Okay, sorry, a little off track. But so basically this app lets you use any of their templates that are free and you can just upload your picture into them and then import them into Instagram and it looks super cute. There is a premium version, but I personally don't use the premium version. I just use the regular version and it works perfectly fine for me. I also sometimes will take my story pictures and put them into Lightroom as well, just so that even though you can't see my profile and my stories at the same time, it's all the same. And I just love my presets, so sometimes if I don't use a filter that's already on Instagram, I'll pop it into Lightroom and then put it on my story. Also, I will share a few of my favorite Instagram filters that are right on the app. I will put the names here so that you can search them. I love these so much. They all give kind of a different vibe, but I mainly use one by Bryant and one by Love Sweat Fitness, but I don't remember the name, so I will put those two here. So another thing that I do is go on Pinterest for ideas for your story. So I don't always take the time to put them into Story Art and then put them back into my stories. A lot of times what I do is I use the drawing tool or the little GIFs or things like that. So if you just look up things like Instagram Story Art on Pinterest, it'll give you tons of cute ideas of how to make your stories look better. And a lot of times that's what I'll do if I don't want to take the time to put it into a different app. I'll just use a filter that's already on Instagram and then decorate it myself with the drawing tool or a GIF or something like that. Okay, finally onto the bio. So I think that this also really helps, even though it's one little thing, is that having your bio look nice. So my bio looks like this right now, and one big thing that I feel like every time I look at somebody's Instagram that I notice is if their bio is bullet pointed or not. I think that it really helps just organize it and keep your line items separate. I'm not sure if Instagram yet lets you enter in and make separate line items on the app, but I just do it in my notes. I haven't updated my bio in a while, so I'm pretty sure that last time I just did it in my notes, but just go into your notes, type out whatever you want in your bio, and then you should be able to copy and paste that into your bio. Okay, my apologies if the lighting changed. My phone so conveniently decided to be full of storage right at the end of my video. Another thing about your bio is pick things that are genuinely important to you, because I feel like a lot of times people can tell if it's just random stuff that doesn't really matter or if it's purposely stuff that people are putting in there to get followers. And I think people are more open to those Instagram accounts that look really genuine and should be genuine, so try to put in those things that really matter to you in your bio. I think that is everything that I have for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. Again, here is my Instagram if you'd like to give me a follow. If you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said at the beginning, I am also new here, so it would mean the world to me. And also leave me a comment telling me what your favorite Etsy presets are if you use them, because I think that I'm in the market for some new ones possibly soon. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.